Hello guys, so in this video I will be going over factorization of linear expressions. If you don't know what linear expressions are, I have made a video in detail about it. It's in the video named Introduction to Fundamental Algebra. So factorization is basically the reverse process of expansion, right? I talked about expansion in my last video, which was named Expansion and Simplification of Linear Expressions. So I'll go through it again. Expansion is basically when you expand the bracket. So for example, if I had 4x plus 3, so you multiply the 4 with this first and then with this first. So you have 4 into x is 4x plus 4 into 3 is 12. So you expanded the bracket, right? So when you go in this way, this is called expansion. But when you go in the opposite direction, this will be called factorization. So how do you factorize an expression? So let's look at that. Let's take the same example. So let's say you had 4x plus 12. Now if you find the highest common factor of 4 and 12, let's find the highest common factor of 4 and 12. So in highest common factor, you basically list down the common factors they have. So 2 times 2 is 4 and 2 times 6 is 12 and then 2 times 1 is 2 and then 2 times 3 is 6, right? So you stop when they don't have a common factor. So our highest common factor of 4 and 12 will be 4. This was a pretty easy example. So you know that 4 times 1 is 4 and 4 times 3 is 12, right? So these both can be divided by 4. So when you divide both of these terms by 4, you can take 4 common and then you will open a bracket. Now when you divide 4x by 4, you will only be left with 4. What I mean is when you divide 4x by 4, so the 4's will cancel out and you will only be left with x, right? And then you have 12. So when you divide 12 with 4, you are left with 3. So instead of 12, I will write 3 and then bracket close. So this will be our factorized expression, right? Let's look at another example. So let's say if we had something like 6x minus 12, right? Now we know that 6 and 12 are both multiples of 6, right? 6 times 1 is 6 and 6 times 2 is 12. So we will take 6 common and then we will divide each term by 6. So 6x divided by 6 is only x. So we are left with x here, and minus 12 divided by 6 is minus 2. So we are left with minus 2 over here. So this will be our factorized expression, right? Now let's look at another example. So let's say you had 4ay minus 10az, right? Now as you can see that 4 and 12 are not multiples of 4. They are the common multiples, like the highest common factor of 4 and 12 or 4 and 10 will not be 4. So when you list down their common factors, so 2 times 2 will be 4 and 2 times 5 will be 10. So the only common factor they have is 2. So their highest common factor will be 2. So the only thing that you can take out common will be 2. But they also have a common variable. So a is the common variable. So in this case, you will take out the common variable 2. So you write a with this. And then when you divide 4ay, the first term, by 2a. So let's do it over here. So divide 4ay by 2a. So the a and a gets cancelled out and 2 times 1 is 2 and 2 times 2 is 4. So you will be left with 2y. We have 2y over here. And then 10az divided by 2a. Again, the a gets cancelled out and 2 times 1 is 2 and then 2 times 5 is 10. So we are left with 5z. So over here, we'll have minus 5z, right? So this will be our factorized expression, right? Now you can also get expressions with 3 terms. So let's say you have an expression which is 8ax plus 12a minus 4az. So again, a will be our common variable. So you will take a outside of the bracket and then 8, 12 and 4 are all multiples of 4. So you can take 4 common too. Now let's try to do it in the faster way. Since we already took a common, you don't have to write a over here again, right? So instead of a, you will just write x, because we did not take x out of the bracket, so x will stay there. And then 8, what times 4 is 8? So you know 4 times 2 is 8. So instead of 8, you will only write 2, right? And then the positive sign comes down. Now 4 times 3 is 12, and a is already outside, so you don't have to write a over here again. So you only write 3. Now the same things go over here. So instead of positive, now you have a negative sign over here. So you copy down the negative sign. And now 4a, we have taken 4a common. So instead of 4a, you will only write z. So this will be our factorized expression. Now you can check it by expanding it. So let's try expanding it. Let me just, okay, we cannot do that. Okay, so let's try expanding it. So we'll have to multiply this with this first, then with this, and then with this. So 4a into 2x is 4 into 2 is 8, and then we have a, and then we have x, right? Plus 4 into 3 is 12, and a stays, and 4a into z is 4az. So you got the same equation over here. So our factorized form was correct, right? In the same way, if you have something like 4m minus 6my minus 18mz. So 4, 6, and 18 are all common multiples of 2, not 4. 6 and 18 do not come in the table of 4. So the only thing you can take common over here is 2, right? And then m is the common variable. So you will take m common, right? And then you have taken the m common, so cancel that out for a minute. Now 2 times 2 is 4, so you'll just write 2 over here. The minus sign gets copied over here. Now 2 times 3 is 6, and you are left with y, so you'll copy down y. The minus sign again gets copied down. Now 2 times 9 is 18. The m got cancelled out, and the z is copied. So this will be our factorized expression. Now if we had a negative sign over here too, so what we would have done then is we would have taken the negative sign common, and we would have added plus signs with them, because we took the negative common. So when you multiply negative with all these, you would have gotten this original expression, right? Let's look at another example. So let's say we had something like minus 3a bracket 2 plus b plus 18a b minus 1, and the examiner is telling you to factorize it, right? So what you basically do in this question is you first expand it and then factorize it. So for expanding it, you will first multiply the term 3a with 2 and then with b. So let's do that. So minus 3a into 2 will be minus 6a, and minus into plus is minus, so minus 3a into b will be minus 3ab. And then you multiply 18a with b first and then with negative 1. So positive 18a into b will be positive 18ab, and then positive 18a into minus 1 will be negative 18a. Then you group the like terms together. So you group these two terms together, minus 3ab and 18ab, and you group the minus 6a and minus 18a together. So let's do that. Minus 6a minus 18a minus 3ab positive 18ab, right? Now you take out the common things. Now after grouping the like terms together, you add the like terms together. Remember, we used to add and subtract the like terms together. So over here we have the common variable a, right? So we will first look at these like terms. So minus 6a and minus 18a, so the signs are both same, so we will add but the sign will remain the same, so we have the negative sign. And now the coefficients will add. So 6 plus 18 is 24, so we have minus 24a. Then we have this, and the coefficients are same, ab, right? So we add them. So the signs are different over here. We have one negative and one positive. So we will subtract, and the sign of the greater number will be written down. So the sign of the greater number is 18, which is positive. So we'll write plus over here. And 18 minus 3 is 15. So we are left with 15, and the variables get copied down. So we are left with AB. Now, as you may see, that we have A in both the terms. So you take A common, and then minus 24 and 15 are both multiples of 3, right? So you can take 3 common. If you cannot remember, if you don't know what the highest common factor will be, then you just then you can find it out in the rough space. So 3 times 8 is 24, and 3 times 5 is 15. Now these two do not have any more common factors, so 3 will be our highest common factor, so we'll take that common. Now cut the a's out, and we are left with minus 24 and 15b. So 3 times minus 8 will be minus 24. The negative sign got copied down, and then 3 times 8 is 24, so I wrote 8. And then the positive sign gets copied down. 3 times 5 is 15, so I'll just write 5. The a got cancelled out, and then we are left with b. So this will be our factorized form, right? That's it for this video. I hope you all learned something. Goodbye.